Christian Counsel by Fenelon 26. Unconformity to the will of God. The essence of virtue consists in the attitude of the will. This is what the Lord would teach us when he said, "The kingdom of God is within you." Luke 17:21. It is not a question of extensive knowledge, of splendid talents, nor even of great deeds. It's a simple matter of having a heart and the loving. Outward works are the fruits and the consequences of loving. And the spring of all good things is at the bottom of the soul. There are some virtues which are appropriate to certain conditions and not to others. Some are good at one time and some at another. But an upright will is profitable for all times and all places. The kingdom of God which is within us consists in our willing whatever God wills, always in everything, and without reservation, and thus his kingdom comes. For his will is undone as it is in heaven, since we will nothing but what is dictated by his sovereign pleasure. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are they who are stripped of everything, even of their own wills, that they may no longer belong to themselves. How poor in spirit does he become, who has given up all things to God? But how is it that our will becomes right when it is unreservedly conformed to that of God? We will whatever he wills. What he does not will, we do not. We attach our feeble wills to that all-powerful one that regulates everything. Thus nothing can ever come to pass against our wishes, for nothing can happen contrary to the will of God. But we found in his good pleasure an inexhaustible source of peace and consolation. The interior life is the beginning of the blessed peace of the saints who internally cry, "Amen, Amen." We adore, we praise, we bless God in everything. We see him incessantly, and in all things his paternal hand is the sole object of our contemplation. There are no longer any evils, for even the most terrible that come upon us work together for good. As St. Paul says, to those that love God, Romans 8, Romans 8:28. Can the suffering that God destined to purify and make us worthy himself be called evil? Let us cast all our cares into the bosom of a so good Father, and suffer him to do as he pleases. Let us be content to adopt his will in all points, and to abandon our own absolutely and forever. Or can we retain anything of our own when we do not even belong to ourselves? The slave has nothing. How much less then should we own anything, we in ourselves are but nothingness and sin, and who are indebted for everything to pure grace. God has only bestowed upon us a will free and capable of self-possession, that we may the more generously recompense a gift by returning it to its rightful owner. We have nothing but our wills only. All the rest belongs elsewhere. Disease removes life and health, riches make to themselves wings, intellectual talent depends upon the state of the body. The only thing that really belongs to us is our will. It is of this, therefore, that God is especially jealous, for He gave it to us. Not that we should retain it, but that we should return it to Him whole as we received it and without the slightest reservation. If the least desire remain, or the smallest hesitation, is robbing God, contrary to the order of creation. All things come from Him, and to Him they all do. Alas, how many souls there are full of self, and desirous of doing good, serving God, but in such way as to suit themselves, who desire to impose rules upon God as to His manner for drawing them to Himself. They want to serve, to possess Him, but they are not willing to abandon themselves to Him and be possessed by Him. What a resistance they offer to Him, even when they appear so full of zeal and fervor. It is certain that in one sense the spiritual abundance becomes an obstacle to the progress. For the whole of all, even the virtues, in a preparation constantly seek self, even in good. Or how superior to such fervid, limited souls, walking always in virtue, in the road of their own choice, is that humble heart that renounces its own life at every selfish movement, and dismisses all will except such as God gives from moment to moment, in accordance with His gospel and providence. Herein lies the meaning of those words of the Lord: If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross, and follow me. Matthew 16:24. Luke 14:33. We must follow Jesus Christ step by step and not open up a path for ourselves. We can only follow Him by denying ourselves and what is this but unreservedly abandoning every right over ourselves? And so St. Paul tells us, ye are not your own. 1 Corinthians 6:19. No, not a thing remains that belongs to us. Alas, for him that resume possession for anything after once abandoning it. To desire to serve God in one place rather than in another, in this way rather than in that, is not this desire to serve Him in our own way rather than in His, but to be equally ready for all things, to will everything and nothing, to leave ourselves in His hands like a toy in the hands of a child, to set no bounds to our abandonment, inasmuch as the perfect reign of God cannot abide them. This is really denying ourselves. This is treating Him like a God, that ourselves as creatures made solely for His use.